Getting ready for work. Part 3, Job Applications. Arkansas Rehabilitation Services, presented by the Region 4 Pre-Eds Counselors, preparing a job-ready, career-bound workforce to meet the needs of Arkansas employers. Our objectives today. Students will review job applications, complete an electronic job application form completely and accurately, determine the importance of completing a job application completely with accuracy. And here are your CTE and career readiness practices. Tips for completing job applications. Be prepared. Writing and typing your applications very neatly. Make minimal corrections. Keep the applications clean. Let someone look over your application before you send it. Fresh eyes is important. Follow your instructions. Use complete words. Fill in all information. Be positive. Be accurate. Following up on your application. 1 or 2 days after filling out any application, you may call the employer. Prepare before calling. A sample of this is, may I speak to the hiring manager? Hello, this is Byron Laster. I'm calling to follow up on an application I turned in on July 30th. I was checking to see if you had any chance to review my application and wanted to know if you had any questions for me. After that, get the name of the person you spoke to on the phone and put it on a spreadsheet. Put it somewhere where you have it. Now, time out. Let's look at some of the common questions asked by employers online applications. These are common questions. One of your customers has just said to you, the service here is terrible. You should say, A, what is it about the service that you had not liked? B, would you like to fill out a complaint form? I can get one for you. C, I realize our service is poor today. We are understaffed, so I apologize. Or D, I am really sorry to hear you say that, but we're trying as hard as we can. Okay, what do you think the answer would be? A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. Here's what you should have put. What is it about the service you have not liked? Here's another question. It's been very busy today, and you have just gotten a customer complaint. This is the 3rd time today that the same customer had complained to an employee about the same problem. However, it is the first time you have spoken with her. Your best course of action is to A, ask the customer to wait and ask the employee who last dealt with the customer why the problem was not fixed. B, ask the customer to wait and ask the employee who last dealt with the customer to speak to her. C, apologize to the customer and ask if she would like to speak to a supervisor. Or D, apologize to the customer and ask her how you can help fix this problem. What would you answer? A, B, C, or D? What would the employer look for? I'll give you a second. Of course, you will apologize to the customer and ask how you can help fix this problem. That is doing things on your own, showing initiative. 91% of all customers who've had a bad experience will not do business with your company again once they've had bad experience. Here's another question. Each shift, you have to complete several tasks before leaving for the day. It's near the end of your shift, and you probably will not have enough time to finish all your assigned work before leaving. The best thing you can do is A. Think about changing your routine to help finish your work on time in the future. B. Tell the employees on the next shift that the tasks are unfinished and ask them to finish them. Or C. Explain the situation to your supervisor and ask for help. Or D. Leave for the day and complete the unfinished task tomorrow. What do you think an employer would be looking for in this answer? A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And here's what they're looking for. Explain the situation to your supervisor and ask for help. Of course, the supervisor wants to know what you can do, what he can do to help. That's the answer they are looking for. Another question. One of your customers irate and just yelled at you because you were slow in responding to a request he had made. You decide to A. Call the manager and ask her to deal with the customer. B. Tell him you're sorry and explain the reason for the delay. C. Explain to the customer that he is receiving the same services as everyone else. Or D. Tell the customer you will help him as soon as he calms down and stops yelling. What do you think an employer would look for in this answer? A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. Of course, it will be tell him you're sorry and explain the reason for the delay. 89% of customers get frustrated because they need to repeat their issues to multiple representatives. When the situations involving conflicts with others, your preferred approach has been to A. Try to get everyone to express their concerns. B. Yield to the preferences of others. C. Use your influence to get others to do what you want. D. Take yourself out of the situation as quickly as possible. Or E. Look for points of agreement between yourself and others. Okay, what do you think the employer will want to look for that answer? A, B, C, D, or E? I'll give you a second. Of course, the answer will be look for points of agreement between yourself and others. 1% of customers feel that their expectations of good service are always met. Your first step is the job application process. The job application is often your first step. Employers use it to learn about your qualification and compare you to other applicants. If you're filling out a paper application, make a rough draft. Write out responses on a separate sheet of paper before completing the real application. Or get 2 copies and use the first one as your rough draft. Write clearly. Use a black erasable pen and print clearly on your final product, that is. Proofread it. Make sure you have no grammar or spelling errors. If possible, have someone else review the application to catch errors you might have missed. 4. Keep it neat. Use correction fluid whiteout to fix minor errors, but use it only sparingly. More tips for job applications. Filling out applications neatly and completely. Make sure your applications create a good impression by answering all the employer's questions. Before you leave home, create a personal data sheet for yourself. This should include all the information you might need to complete an application, like names of previous employers, employment dates, addresses, telephone numbers, etc. Stuff you can't remember. Use it as you fill out the application. Most applications will ask for references. Add this to your personal data sheet. Do not use abbreviations except for NA, not applicable. Respond to all questions. If a question does not apply to you, you may use NA to indicate that it's not applicable. This shows the employer that you did not overlook anything. More tips for job applications. Follow directions. Avoid having applications rejected because you filled it out wrong. Read the entire application before you complete it. Pay close attention to what's being asked and how you're expected to respond. Do not write in the sections that say do not write below this line or for office use only. Do not write in those sections. Applications may contain questions that are legal to ask before a conditional offer of employment. These include the questions about race, religion, your creed, marital status, national origin, age, disability, and sexual orientation. If you need to decide how you will respond, if the question does not bother you, I would answer it. If it does bother you, you can use NA, but be aware that you may be screened out of the process by having too many of these not applicable or NA responses. Here's some tips for more job applications. Give positive reasons for leaving past jobs. Choose your words carefully with this question. Avoid using the words fired, quit, illness, or personal reasons. Always use positive statements. Here are some possible ways to handle this question. If you were fired, do not use the term fired or terminated. Consider using involuntary separation. If you quit your job, use the term resigned or voluntarily separated. Now this is your assignment that will be provided for you. This is the online electronic application. This link will be provided for you during this lesson. And right now, we expect you to do a great job. Now it's time to get out there and apply for some jobs. Thank you from your Region 4 Pre-Ed counselors. On behalf of Kyle Kuiper, Gracie Gilbert, this is Byron Laster signing off. Thank you.